Hello everyone, Giant Beer JJ here, and today I'm finally going to build my own personal testing rig. So as you might notice, I already have two rigs. The first one is my own gaming rig, which is custom looped. It is really hard to do, swap hardwares on that build. For my second rig, if you see my previous videos, is a mini ITX case in the meshlicious case. That one is also not suitable for hardware testing and stuff like that. So most of the components we have here today were not new. If you remember this power supply right here, this is actually came from the meshlicious case. So I actually swapped that power supply out with the 750 SFX power supply from Coursera because that power supply is way smaller than this one. It's the this one is a 480X one. So with that smaller one, I was able to actually put the 280 AIOs inside the case. So this one has become a spare parts. And for the CPU, this is actually a new CPU. This is the AMD Ryzen 7 5800X. The reason I'm choosing this CPU is it's running really hot. I have seen multiple users or people reporting that this CPU is really hard to tame. So it would be a really ideal choice for me to test further on testing on how all the AIO performs on this CPU to see their cooling capacities on this. Of course, I'm definitely going to also use that 12900K that I have in my ITX build for some performance testing. But for now, we're just going to use this one. And for the SSD, it's the Samsung 980. There's nothing special about this. And for the RAM, here I have the Corsair Vengeance LPX DDR4 3600 megahertz one. This is a very standard DDR4 memory. Since DDR5 is out and the DDR4s have become cheaper these days, this is a really good RAM. So. And for the motherboard, I have the Asus ROG B550F motherboard. This is not one of those really high-end motherboard. It's just one of those spare parts that I have. So I know this one might not be the ideal choice for doing some benchmarking or some hardware testing or things like that. But I think I'm just going to stick with this one for now because I don't want to spend couple $100 just for to buy another motherboard, given the fact that I already have this one. So this is the choice for me for now. And for the AIO, I actually have the EK360. This is actually bought in last year when I assembled my first gaming rig. So then I changed to custom loop. So this one has become a spare parts as well. So the fans is actually being used in my other rig. So I just grabbed some NZXT fans from the Kraken Z73. Yeah, I think that's most of the components that I have. You might see that I don't have a GPU here, although I've unboxed several GPUs. So for the GPU thing, it's going to be a little surprise later. Before that, let's firstly assemble all these other parts. Okay, so right now we have fully assembled our motherboard. We have the CPU in place, we have the RAM at DIMM2 and 4, and we have the SSD in place as well. So right now I'm going to put the AIO onto the main board, and let's get started. Okay, seems like we have a problem here to install the EKIO. So as I said, when I assemble my rig here, I probably use some of the parts in here so that I can find some of the components here. I don't have the thumb nut, I don't have the spring, but I do have the mounting screw, which is right here. And yeah, there's just missing too many important components, and the AIO is not going to have a really nice contact with the CPU. So I guess I have to stick with this. The good old AMD ROS cooler. It looks pretty fancy. Actually, it's really nice build quality. So I'm going to use this for now. Okay, so now the ROS cooler has been installed. Excuse me for my, the wire management. It's really bad right now. I'll have to tidy it up later. So right now I'm going to connect the power supply with the motherboard. Okay, so now we have the PSU connected to the motherboard and also the CPU one. I only connected the 8-pin. I think it should be enough for 5800X. And yeah, and what's only left is the graphics card, and I have 3 PCIe cables ready here. So let's look at our graphics card for today. Look at this beefy guy right here. This is the ROG Strix 3080 Ti, and also with the AIO cooler. Although I'm not using AIO for this one, but we do have an AIO for today, which is this one. So yeah, I'm going to clean everything up here a little bit, and then do an unboxing on this one, and get this bad boy on our testing bench. Let's start it. would say this card is really massive. Look at the size of this thing. Although it is water cooled and all the AL stuff should be here and it should be relatively lightweight on this part, but no. I think this is heavier than the 3060 Ti that I unboxed a month ago. So that is a good thing. The good thing about that is, it has high build quality. For this water-cooled 3080 Ti for the ROG Strix, the water block, the cold plate also touched some parts of the VRAMs. So that's cooling the memory modules at the same time. So this guy should be performing really well. So I'm going to do the benchmark of this thing in the following up videos. So stay tuned for that as well. Okay guys, so here I have everything already connected and you can see the ROG Eye is lighting up. That's a good sign. So right now I'm just going to use this screwdriver to fire up the machine. Let's hope that everything, there's nothing, no broken parts, everything works fine. And yeah, let's get started. We see the input right away. It's a good sign, and everything is lighting up. This card is gorgeous. Look at the fans. Okay, new CPU installation. Press F1 to run setup. That is good. And now we're in the BIOS. Okay, this is definitely really exciting to have my test bench finally assembled, and I guess that all the components should be working right now. You already see the 5800X in here, and the monitor is lighting up with the GPU connected, and this card looks really nice. If you look from this part, this looks beautiful, and the fan is stopping right now because it's not under load. Okay, there we have it, guys. This is part one of the assemble my testing bench. Part one. When the I don't know actually when my testing frame arrives here, I'm going to get everything here onto my test frame and then get the cable management ready, so I have the beautiful test bench that I can start testing various components that I still have here to do unboxing and testing from now on. Again, thanks for your time watching this video. Hope you have a nice Christmas holiday. Bye-bye.